Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Cape Cod Like a Local. I'm Dan.
I'm Nancy.
And this week we want to talk to you a little bit about current market conditions, give you a little market update of what we're seeing here on Cape Cod. One of the things we're seeing is that the inventory is creeping up. I think we're at 1.8 months of inventory, which is the highest we've seen since June of 2021. So that's starting to mark a little bit of a shift in the market. And just to clarify, we consider about 5 to 6 months of inventory kind of a balanced market where it's neither really a seller's market or a buyer's market. So it's still a pretty strong seller's market. Is that coinciding with what you're seeing out there, Nancy, as a buyer specialist?
I was surprised to see it was only 1.8 because I would have thought it was a little higher than that because I'm seeing a lot more inventory from my buyers. I'm also noticing that in this time period where it's summer, that some people have slowed down buying because now their children are getting into school and so forth. So it's a changing market in that sense as well. I'm able to, there are more houses to see, as I said. The buyers are able to be more picky because they have more inventory to look at. And they're staying on the market a little bit longer. So if they don't get to see it on a Monday, Tuesday, they almost have a week sometimes. Is that what you're seeing on the selling side as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're seeing, I'm looking at the hot sheet every day of the new inventory coming on and what's happening. And we're seeing, I think maybe some sellers were kind of trying to price ahead of the market, and that's not a good strategy right now because they feel like, I think they feel like it's still going up, which is not the case.
Right.
It's not dropping drastically, but it's leveled off and it's come down a little bit in pockets. The other thing we're seeing a lot of is, which we haven't seen in just a couple of years, is a lot of price reductions going on the MLS. Every day we see the new inventory and then price reductions are right after that. So there's a lot of that. And there's a lot of back on the market. And what's happening now is, you know, again, buyers are being pickier. If there's big challenges in the home inspection, sellers are still thinking, I don't have to deal with that in many cases. And the buyers are saying, well, I'm not dealing with that. And they're out. So it's just something to be aware of as a buyer and a seller. I think it presents an opportunity for buyers that have been getting beat up and not able to have an offer accepted. But it's also, be aware of that as a seller that, you know, you may have to be a little more flexible right now.
As I've talked about in the future, just because the price on a home is X doesn't mean that's what you're going to pay for. If it is priced high, you know, an agent will do the comparisons for you so that you are in right in the price range that you should be paying for that home. Dan, what I've noticed also is that some of my buyers, they had a strict budget to stay within, and now with the interest rates rising a little, they have to change their numbers, and you know, maybe 50,000, even 100,000. So it's constantly changing for what they can purchase.
Yeah, I was just reading something from the Mortgage Bankers Association saying that new applications have declined seasonally adjusted. I think it was 2.3%, which is a very large decline in applications, and so that's also telling us that buyers are pumping the brakes, which we talked about a few videos back, a couple months ago when we saw the rates rising and Wall Street going wonky. We said this is going to cause buyers to pump the brakes. So it's important as a seller to understand that you can still get historically high prices for your home. Just probably not going to see, unless it's a very unique situation, you're not going to see that, you know, 10 or 15 bids and, you know, going 100,000 over asking price. It still happens, but not very often. And it's usually absolutely pristine property in an area where not much is coming on that people want to be. So it's much more isolated than it was in the past. So I guess kind of to wrap it up, what we're seeing, we are seeing a decline in the number of homes being sold. Time on market's a little longer. So that presents an opportunity for the buyers. And for sellers, this isn't doom and gloom. We're not going to see what we saw in 2008. You know, the market should not shut down dead. There's still a high demand. It's just, you know, forget about what you see on some of these websites and forget about what you're hearing or what someone from another village or another town said their house went for, you know, 9 months ago. This is a different time. It's still historically high. With very high prices, but with the rates, I think sellers need to be very realistic, and be willing to work. It doesn't mean you're losing out. It just means you're not getting that pie in the sky that some people would hope for.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that I'm noticing, and I'm so glad that it's not, to put a great offer in, we used to have to tier things down so that you wouldn't have a home inspection. Of course, we never recommend that, but they wouldn't have a home inspection so their offer would look a little better. And now home inspections are back full swing, which I'm so happy about. Not only are you learning about the house, but there might be a safety issue, and that's part of the negotiation to the seller to make sure that that's taken care of before you purchase a home. And I'm glad that that normalcy is back.
Yeah, and same from the seller side. I feel the same way, and we educate our sellers like, listen, home inspections aren't for, hey, repaint the front of the house type of thing. Home inspections are for things that you didn't foresee. The furnace is on its way out. The roof only has a year left, something like that. So, that is important for buyers and sellers. I mean, always we want to create a win-win, and I just think it's a better way to get there, to make sure that everybody is protected and safe at the end of the sale. The seller can feel like they get a good deal, but they handed their house in good condition to someone. Correct. And the buyer can go in knowing that they feel good about what they purchased, and build a happy life where they're in their new home. It's
nice to not have the frenzy of the last year. That was tricky. You saw a house this hour, 2 hours later, it was an offer accepted. And now you have the opportunity. You actually can think about it and maybe sleep on it even. So it makes a difference.
Yeah. But don't sleep too long out there buying and selling houses. No, it's still a great offer. There's never a bad market. If you're playing the long-term game, the market's always good. Yeah. That's kind of the bottom line. So we hope you find this useful. If you need help or have any questions, we're happy to answer any questions you have at any time, or refer you to great mortgage people. So,
thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Take care.
Yeah, get up there. But the buyers are definitely being more pickier because they have the option to.
Pickier, not more pickier.
Oh, did I say more pickier? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're picky. I find that the buyers are being picker. No. I can't use that word.
That's all I got to say about that.
We're good at this.
That's probably not our best performance.